Hi, it's Shannon Heaton, and here in Boston it is nearly spring. That means that St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner, and here's a tune of the month for you to try out at your St. Patrick's Day gigs, giving you some ideas for melodic variation, one of the most notable elements of traditional music style. It's in the book, First 50. If you have it, you can reference that. I include this particular variation in the book. If you haven't picked up a copy, it's really intended for trad players. I've got a CD so you can learn the music orally, and then there are a bunch of style pointers for going deep into how to phrase things for flute players and for fiddle players. But in my travels over the last few months, I've also discovered that this has been great for trad players who have classical music friends, because with all of the breathing and phrasing, articulation ideas for flute players and bowings for fiddle players, it actually gets classical players closer to sounding like actual Irish musicians. So you might give that a try. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in to the Tune of the Month, and without further ado, here's Rollin in the Ryegrass for March. Hi, it's Shannon Heaton, and welcome to the Tune of the Month podcast and video series. Today I'm going to talk about a big, exciting aspect of Irish traditional music style, melodic variation. Varying the way that you play a tune makes it more interesting. It allows you to have a conversation with yourself, with the tune. You're kind of commenting on things that perhaps you find interesting in a tune. It's a way to become much more flexible with your playing. So when you're playing with other people and maybe they have a different version of a tune, you're more easily adaptable. It's a way to have a conversation with other players. If they're employing melodic variation, perhaps you musically comment on what they're playing by either playing their variation the next time around or riffing off of that. So melodic variation is complex, sophisticated, exciting, but it's also just made out of simple movements, right? As any complicated event, it's just a series of small basic gestures just put together. So take a nice simple D reel like Rollin in the Ryegrass, otherwise known as the Shannon Breeze. Many of us already know it like this. So when you find a pattern, that's a great place to put in a variation. That's a great time to vary the pattern. The A part of the tune has 4 phrases, and they all start like this. So let's take that phrase and change it up, the second and fourth phrases of the A part, like this. It's a simple move, but that's all that any complicated endeavor is, a series of simple moves. So try that in this tune, and you might find other D reels where you can bring that in. Here it is one more time around, a simple approach to big time melodic variation. Ideas that second time around in Rollin in the Ryegrass. I think in the B part I pulled in a move that I remember hearing Caoimhín O'Reilly and Mick O'Brien do on their wonderful album called Kitty Lie Over. They've got a lot of great ideas for that tune on that recording. And that's another way to really develop your melodic variation palette, is to do a lot of listening to a lot of great players. So wishing you luck with Rollin and the Ryegrass in this slightly varied way, and wishing you lots of fun with your music. Hope we have a chance to play Rollin and the Ryegrass with that melodic variation together, and hope to connect with you next month at the Tune of the Month. Thanks so much for tuning in.